Rivalry week in the American Sevens Football League, so it means we get to speak to some of the biggest rivals in the A7FL. Hello, everyone. I'm Matt Ryan, and as always, I am joined by my friends. I consider them two of my favorite humans on the planet Earth. It's Big Rob Fabien and Cory Hammond, and starting off on Rivalry week, he's playing in the 1 o'clock game against the Trenton BIC. It's not the first time he's playing the BIC, but it's the first time in a Patterson U uniform. They call him OB. He is Carlos Croslin. Carlos, welcome to the 3-on-1 pod. First question is, why do you think we hate you? Because you said that on Instagram today. I just wanted to make
Bill, I'm ready to tell y'all why. Anytime I do something bad, that shit viral. Like, y'all make a moment out of it. I threw 2 touchdowns that same game. What's the only highlight of me up there?
Us singing to Mims.
No. Y'all didn't put that on the Instagram. Y'all ain't put that on the
I
page.
don't have Instagram. I'm sorry. I'm
saying,
man.
so what I'm saying is when y'all post me on the A7 page, anytime I get posted on there,
listen, I think the disconnect is for the Instagram, and no disrespect to anybody watching, but maybe the lower class fan, they were looking for that. But if you go to the Twitter and the Reddits and there's nothing but Carlos Croslin. I literally say that's his second great throw of the season into the wind. He's got a cannon. Look at that tight spiral. We don't hate you.
Yeah, like I heard.
And it's not, and to pull back the curtain a little bit on social media, it's not done to like proactively shit on people, at least for me.
Well, when Adrian Green was doing it to our guy about his Hanes, that was a different story. But what the A7FL does, go ahead.
Don't nobody be on Twitter, AF. I ain't never seen the Twitter A7. I only see the Instagram. And what I'm telling y'all is on the Instagram, y'all be sure to put my bad highlights up there every time, every single time. Like I said, I threw the 2 touchdowns. Look, I'm going to tell y'all how bad it is, right? That same game, right? I threw 2 touchdowns. Y'all put a tackle up there. I ain't saying y'all specifically. I'm just saying A7. I don't know who running it. This is why I say they hate me, though. Y'all put a tackle up there and a 6-yard run. I threw 2 touchdowns. They ain't on there.
Well, the live coverage is handled.
Did you watch any of the live coverage or the playback?
No, I'm not talking about the commentary this time.
No,
I'm just saying, I'm just talking about the Instagram post.
So let's just say this. To the guy running that Instagram, just like Snag says to everybody, right? What did Snag say to the whole league in a couple episodes ago? I know you're a fan. You listen.
No, I don't remember. What did he say?
He said it's screw you in a different word. To the guy, whoever this random guy is that's running all of these Insta faces and Snap posts and all this, face chat. But anyway, let's talk about the real thing that you came on here to talk about, because that, at the commentary team, totally separate from the people who run the social media, because on the social media is that also in A7FL social media sometimes might include, even though it's not completely affiliated, all those lives that are going on that you're also involved in. And there's a totally different kind of hatred level on some of those things that's very friendly and temporary. But I want to talk about this week and your season so far, because I think it's really interesting that even though everybody from Baltimore knows you that plays because they've had to line up against you, and whether it's at wide receiver, whether it's doing a kick return, or whether it's been in your couple's stints at quarterback for the Gators. I was just actually looking back last year. We were introduced to you as a quarterback against your current team when you stepped in after my guy DK, had that little misstep at QB, and then you said, "I got this," and that supreme confidence has kind of followed your game everywhere you go. But what about that game kind of stood out to you to make you feel like A, that you wanted to be a part of that squad, the U, and B, that the U was ready to, in a similar situation where it was almost like stepping in after a guy kind of fumbled the ball, like right before the season started. You were like, just give me the keys, guys.
What you mean? So last year with the Gators, like, let me be clear. Like, I ain't never want to play quarterback with the Gators. That wasn't never the plan.
That's what they said. That's what they were saying, right, Rob?
Yeah,
they were saying,
that's what they were saying last week.
Yeah, so with that, like, we had a quarterback. You get what I'm saying? That was due to circumstantial.
Right.
Like, so I just stepped in because obviously, everybody know who John is. Everybody know what John did. So I just stepped in out the strength, you feel me, just on some backup, like just to be the backup, you feel me, help the team out. But that was never really what I wanted to do for real. So that's all that was. And it was kind of the same way this season. We ain't really know how this season was going to go. You get what I'm saying? And when I came, I originally came to be a wide receiver. That's clear. Everybody know that I came to be a wide receiver, but when they needed me at quarterback, I stepped up. That's all. Like it ain't really much to it. It's what the team need. I'm gonna do what the team need. I'm a team guy.
Well, what I've seen so far is that you do have that like natural bounce. You're a basketball player?
No, I'm just an athlete.
Yeah. Well, you almost have like that crossover step inside the pocket or in open field that gives you that separation. And on that one throw in the first game to Pat Coburn, where he was running that crossing route and then flipped the field when you gave time. That's what it takes to be a quarterback in this league. And when you have the kind of arm strength and put it in a spot to wide receivers like that, I guess if you like it or not, that's where you're at, man. And you're heading into a big game this weekend. Tell me a little bit about what your thoughts are on facing BIC and, having the situation in front of you where, like you said, you came there to be a wide receiver. Right now, you're stepping into the pocket against one of the best pass rushes maybe that this league has to offer.
Don't really have no thoughts. Like, let's just go play. The game is the game. Like we can do all the talking, we can do all the politics, and everybody can say what they gonna do. Everybody gonna say what they gonna stop, how they gonna stop it. I ain't here for that. You got to play the game. I'm gonna tell you that's gonna be my slogan throughout every game. You got to play the game at the end of the day. So.
Word. All right. Well, since this is the podcast, we got a couple more guests up. No, I'm just joking, man. You said you're coming here to politic, and that's literally what you're
doing. I ain't here to politic.
But so then that's real talking. When you're looking up against some of the guys that you're facing and some of the guys that you got, A7, especially a quarterback position, you're going to the line of scrimmage, and you're looking at the matchups. When you see a guy like Pat Coburn, or you see a guy, like Mr. Incredible, you got Snags in the backfield, you got Willie Mayweather in the backfield. What are some of those matchups that you're looking at that you're excited to potentially exploit?
See, y'all good. I see what y'all doing. It ain't really look. We gonna take what they give us.
Okay.
It ain't really about like I ain't gonna tell y'all like, oh yeah.
No, yeah, you don't have to give us the whole game plan.
Yeah, don't give us the playbook.
So I ain't gonna tell you, oh yeah, we looking for this and I'm looking for that. Just know, like whatever they give us, we gonna take. You can't go broke making a profit.
Oh, that's so you are watching film and stuff like that. Like you're paying attention.
Man, listen. I'm a student of the game, man. I come to play. I'm a student of the game. I come to play.
It's interesting that when we asked you a little bit before, you're there, you're ready to go. You're with your guy Snags. You guys love to either have the solo cup or the clear cup with the liquid on our show, which is awesome.
And if you're this is juice, like
oh no, yeah, that's that plum apple. That plum apple is really dark apple, real concentrated.
Yeah, that's it. Knott's isn't a sponsor, but I'd take their money.
Also, the other liquid that's in there too, if they want to give us money for it. Shout outs to Carlos Croslin. The new quarterback, and Rob, that's the best that I'm going to do to completely avoid it.
Oh, bless your heart. Bless your heart, you sweet
pretty
summer
close.
child.
That's another thing y'all gotta stop doing, man.
Don't say no.
It's just
no.
me.
Yeah, don't say y'all.
Every time I'm playing,
No,
man.
yeah, I don't do shit. Don't come at the fat man. It's the other cracker that does it.
Every time I'm playing, from now on, we don't got to talk about Huff. Huff was the quarterback last year.
All right.
I'm the quarterback this year. What Huff did don't got nothing to do with me, and what I'm doing don't got nothing to do with Huff. Huff is his own. Huff got his own situation going on. More power to him. He's doing his thing. He 2-0 right now. We 2-0 right now. We two separate people. We in two separate categories. I ain't got nothing to do with him. He ain't got nothing to do with me. We respect each other. Our respect is mutual. We ain't even got to talk about him. So when y'all talking about the you, don't bring up Huff.
Cory Hammond.
All right. Well, first of all, we live in the real world where even though that is a great sentiment, and Rob and Carlos, I might agree with you. The fact is that Huff didn't play with the U for like 2 years like I did for BIC. Huff didn't play with the U for like 2.5 years like Big Rob, right? Huff was the guy for a really long time. So there is going to be things. That would be like if Moon or how about even better? That would be like, I don't know, if like Olay Bell went to BIC and threw up a fist. It would be a thing.
Yeah,
Shout
but
outs to Olay
we don't
Bell.
ever mention the team he was on. That I told you that.
I said he was.
That's what y'all do though. See, y'all.
I'm of two minds of it because it's a scene setter. Carlos, a lot of people are watching our game for the first time. So we're just trying to create essentially a comparison to give context to why Huff was so good and why the job you're doing for someone who admittedly did not want to play quarterback or be a starting quarterback. Statistically, you're having an amazing season. You're having an all-pro season 2 weeks in. You're defying a lot of expectations. So to set you up in comparison to Huff on a positive is what I've been trying to do and what Cory's been trying to do, because to be completely honest, you've been summarily impressive this year. You've been doing a great fucking job. So and it's comparing you to that guy who had the job before.
And I appreciate that, right? So let me say this though. So if there's somebody who never watched before, they ain't even gonna know who Huff is. So if it's a new
they are, because they see him on the highlights from the past. So but this is now not
that's y'all. But I'm gonna tell y'all what it do for me though. Like personally, like listen, y'all gonna do what y'all gonna do. Y'all grown man. I'm a grown man. I can't stop y'all from doing what y'all doing. But what I'm saying is though, it low key it create a narrative for real. That's all. Like it creates a narrative. Whether y'all wanted to be positive or not, it's not positive. You comparing somebody to somebody in the past, nothing positive comes from that. Like, so y'all might feel like it's creating a positive narrative, but for me, it ain't never going to be positive because everybody going to be looking like, so even if they didn't see, let's say they didn't watch, they going to go back and be like, oh, he not as good as him. Like, or they going to go back and be like, oh, he better than him. So then you're going to have people looking at Huff a certain kind of way, or you're going to have people looking at me a certain kind of way. Like either way, I don't feel like it's positive.
That's the main reason after week 1, I let it go.
Yeah,
because I said, hold on a second. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Because after week 1, I'm like, damn, it's kind of unfair for me to keep bringing. Huff is doing it. It's the same thought process. I'm like, yo, when I mention Carlos, Opie, I'm not going to mention Huff. And like, I do that consciously because I'm like, you know what? The U is trying to do something here. It's already a struggle. You feel me? It's already a struggle having to deal with the narrative that they're not going to be as good as they were. We all know that, right? That's the narrative period, that they're not going to be as good as they were. So now to put an extra narrative on Opie or, trying to compare him directly to Huff, while Huff is actually on a team doing work, we call the team the Huffables. How much of Huff are we going to talk about? Like, I don't want to talk about Huff anymore when it comes to the U. To me, they're just two separate things. I'd rather keep Huff on the animals. Let's talk about where Opie came from in Baltimore, why he wasn't a quarterback back then, or why he never took the role seriously, and how he's dominating now and is probably in the top 2, top 3 quarterback after 2 weeks. So,
and what did you think he was going to say when he started this? And no disrespect, Opie, because you have every right to say how you want to be covered as well. Like you said, we're grown-ass men, and I'm very stubborn, so I'll get back to that in a second. But Rob, you thought he was going to talk about the accent thing. We weren't even going to bring up the Huff thing because eventually we were maybe even.
You thought he was going to talk about it too because you just said the U.
No,
you
just
accent.
said it. Yes, that's
yes, you just said it. So why would
we went
no, hold on. Why wouldn't he think that?
Which wasn't even us bringing it up.
No, but why wouldn't he think that? Because
what I'm saying
is
is to bring it up. Well, the U is just the Baltimore accent thing that I do with everybody. But
he's not wrong, and that's what I initially thought he was going to do. So,
and that's what we were talking about because we weren't even going to talk.
I'm not trying to shoot Corey Baylor.
No, and that's fat, and it's funny that I suck at it because you guys can keep making fun of me for it. But to get back to what we were just talking about, I think it's unfair not to mention how well you're handling it because your attitude that it doesn't matter, matching Rob's attitude that it shouldn't matter, it may not reflect what is true, but that is the way that you have to handle it. And what you are doing is being yourself. You're not coming in there. You're not doing the sidearm throws. You're not doing the crazy pitching at the end of the play. You're playing your brand. And it's actually reminiscent of what the U was before.
Right.
And to be fair, Carlos, I wasn't even going to mention that because we actually were going to potentially and maybe have Huff on later to talk about the 4 o'clock game. But
Okay.
we'll talk about Huff versus the U when Huff plays the U. Let's talk about Carlos Croslin versus BIC because
I actually wanted to bring something up really quick. I think this is a really interesting conversation about media narrative and perception. And I wanted to thank Carlos for bringing that up because there is a bit of an implicit bias when you compare someone replacing someone else.
True.
And you don't do that. It's an inherent human thing, but it's not magnified to the level that it is in sports. Like if someone moves to another job and someone replaces them, there's going to always be an inherent, how good are they? You're creating those comparisons in your head. Corey, yes? Yes, Corey?
I'm just doing it as polite as possible. I wanted you to make the whole point and then just my counterpoint. But let me just say this. When Sterry Codrington, a rookie that we thought was a safety on BIC, stepped in for an injured CP3, and he destroyed the team in front of him, what was LJ Smith saying? Oh, let's see what he can do against real competition. Oh, he's not better than CP3 just yet. Because that's just what the narrative is. When you're stepping in for a different person, especially a team like the U that made it to the championship, was 2 points away, and all of the success that Huff had in all the championships. When you're replacing that person at a position, it's just natural to make that comparison because, let's be honest, Carlos, if you guys win the championship this year, you now replace somebody that didn't do it last year and with either equal or lesser parts, some would argue. You get it done against a team that was supposedly got better if we get to that point. Now, let's not get to that point because my question to you, Carlos, was going to be, if you win a championship in New Jersey, do you forever say that The Sopranos is better than The Wire? But that's just a joke. Never, right? No, I wouldn't even agree that. And I'm from New Jersey. I'm not a mob show guy anyway. You know, I speak enough blasphemy. Somebody's probably going to, that's the last straw, what I just said there. But let me say this. What does it feel like to play for a team in the U that when you were growing up in this league was like the target that you were after to try to knock down?
See, it don't really feel like nothing because of, you feel me, what I'm looking for. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, it was too much going on. I'm just say this. It was too much going on with the Watchmen and the DC
with
Buzz.
The
like
situation.
Going into the
Yeah.
That situation, like, it was hectic. So prior to me playing for the U, like, we was waiting. Like, we didn't know what the Gators, once the Gators fold, then we was waiting. Like, I wasn't going to the DC Buzz. That was never an option. And we didn't know nothing about the Watchmen. So once we had, like, we was in that middle ground, I decided I was going to play for the U. We hollered at them. I talked to them. And once I gave my word was my word. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, the Watchmen came about after I gave my word. Right. So that's what that was. Like, it wasn't even no second thought. Like, it ain't no big thing to me personally. Like, because at the end of the day, I gave my word and I stood on that. Like, and that's all it is. Like, maybe if the Watchmen would have came about a little earlier, I would have went to the Watchmen, but they didn't. So it is what it is.
So it was an easy decision for you to just stick
it was an easy decision because it was a decision made prior to the Watchmen coming about. Like, it wasn't like, it ain't like I was like, damn, do I go to the U or do I play for the Watchmen? No, I'm going to the U. And then the Watchmen come about. Like, now I could leave, but I gave them my word. So that's what it was.
So when was the conversation had with you that, hey, Buck just left, Pac just left, Wolverines, these guys just left, we might need you to step up and play quarterback? When was that conversation had with you?
It was like probably like the week before the first game, probably like around that time, the week before the first game. But that wasn't really, it ain't make me no never mind. Cause like, look, like, I'm really trying to explain to y'all, like, I play football. So when it was time to play ball, like, I was going to play ball. Like, it was just time that now the only thing that really happened for real was just that, like, y'all see the change starting to come off for real. Like, I'm starting to get in my bag and I'm starting to get a little comfortable more playing a certain position. Like, this is what I'm doing, this is where I'm at. So you get adjusted and you get acclimated a little more. And now y'all starting to see a little more of my game. But that's all it was. It wasn't really no.
What's that huddle like? What's that huddle like?
It's calm. What I say go. That's the what I say go. That's the rule. That's the grace they giving me that. Like ain't no, like, you get what I'm saying? Everybody makes suggestions, but what I say go. Like I'm at quarterback, what I say go. If Moon go to quarterback, what he say go. That's how we doing it. Like who's in charge is who's in charge, and that's why we stay. That's why this shit gonna keep going. Like we ain't gonna make no whole bunch of, you get what I'm saying? Like ain't gonna be too many back and forth. Like, oh, I want to do this, you want to do that. No, look,
what is it about that jersey though? Because to be honest, I've seen a lot of big time player guys with tons of confidence in themselves, guys that will literally have said to other guys on that roster that blah blah blah, and most of it is not repeatable even on an explicit show. And then somehow you guys, or whoever it is, and you, Rob, you even know this, you get onto the sideline and all of a sudden it's this collective unit that no matter who it is in the game or whose turn it is, it just seems to always run smoothly. And very rarely is anybody looking at each other saying it, oh, it's your fault, or no, I should have been in. What is it?
I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's 2 words. It's respect and it's preparation. That's it. It's respect and preparation. Like, when I'm like, once you get over there, like, you listen, if you're a competitor, you're a competitor. You know how it is when you competing against a person. But once we there, like, you my teammate now. I'm gonna respect you, you're gonna respect me. And then we're gonna prepare properly. So when it's time
to play, who sets that for the U? Who is like the number one, the couple of guys, who sets that for the U? At least
Ryan,
in your experience.
I say the number 1 person is Ryan.
I try to tell people when I was on the U.
Ryan, I give him his credit. He did his due. He
give him his credit.
Machine. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's it.
Ryan does very well at running the U. He does a great job. I left the U understanding that, Ryan is probably one of the better team managers that I've ever dealt with. And Carlos is right here on a version of the U that I wasn't even on, and it's telling you the same thing. Ryan Shamar really is that guy. So if Ryan Shamar is not focused, it can be a tough season.
But it's not, I ain't gonna lie though, it ain't just him though. It's a team effort though. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it ain't just like, you feel me? It come down. Like, you get what I'm saying? Everybody be on the same page though, that's all. Like, everybody pretty much on the same page. We got a common goal.
Right.
So if you got a common goal and you can get people on the same page to reach that goal, then, you feel me? Everything fall in line, that's all.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I think your first completion for as a U quarterback was that 6-yard comeback route to scat Pat Coburn on the sideline.
Yeah.
And you've obviously gotten to know him pretty quickly. You guys have, I feel like you're hooking up with him more than, even though we're not allowed to mention it, very recently there was a certain situation, maybe last year, I don't know, but it seems like you're even throwing the ball more to Pat Coburn than he was getting opportunities last year. So you've developed a quick chemistry. I think he's the best route runner in the league, or maybe in the league's history. Tell the audience and everybody that may not know, kind of exactly who Pat Coburn is, what makes him that good, if you feel he's that good, and what you've learned about him in your first couple weeks as the Patterson U quarterback.
Communication, that's all it is. Like, it's just communication for real. Like, I don't know if he the best runner. I don't know everybody in the league. So I know what he can do though. He is a good route runner, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I got a connection with a couple people. Mims, y'all got to realize Mims didn't play the first game. He come back that second game. That's 2 touchdowns. That's 2. So I got a connection with everybody. So it's not just him, but like I told y'all just now, it's preparation, it's communication. Like, we out there communicating. So it ain't really just a smoke thing or a pat thing. Like, we gonna find out what's open. We're gonna see what they giving us, and we're gonna take advantage of it. That's all. So it's not really
piggyback. Sorry, Carlos, but to piggyback off that question, do you feel your experience as a wide receiver helps you develop chemistry with people like Pat, who are veterans of this league, people who have been a part of the A7FL and understand the style of football? And secondarily to that, what do you think has been a huge help to you in transitioning from being the guy who's hearing the play from the sideline and calling what's coming in from the sideline? That transition from being a receiver to the play caller in the huddle.
All right, so one, no, not really, because like me as a receiver is not the same kind of receiver as Pat. I'm also not the same kind of receiver as Easy. I'm not the same kind of, like, everybody got their style. So like it really don't really help you much. Like, you get what I'm saying? You got an understanding, but everybody do stuff so differently that it really don't, like, it don't transition from me being the quarterback and like, oh, I gotta throw the ball. Like, it really don't help. And as far as me, like, calling plays and hearing plays, we good because, like I told y'all earlier, what I say go. Like, not on no, like, oh, I'm trying to, like, run a shit, but just, like, I get the last say so. So that's what's helping that. Like, there's no confusion because you make a suggestion, he make a suggestion, what I say go. Like, I'm going to hear, I'm going to listen, I'm going to take heed, but what I say go. Like, you get what I'm saying? Who's ever in charge is in charge, and we're going to respect who's ever in charge. That's all that is.
I got a few questions for you, though, OP. How long you been in this league?
This is my third year.
Third year. Damn. So your first season was when?
I played the first season with the Gators.
In 2019, right?
Yeah, 2019. Yeah, I played my first season with the Gators, and then I played my second season. I went to the Cobras. Oh, hold on, I'm lying. This might be my fourth year. Fourth year. So I played my first year with the Gators, my second season with the Cobras, my third season with the Gators, and then now this year I'm playing with the U.
What was the biggest game you were involved in before this year?
Probably the Gators versus the U.
The Gators versus the U.
Yeah, like that first game where I had to play quarterback. Like, that was really my first, like, like one of them games where I was really, like, thrown in there, and like, now you gotta play. Like, the best of the best.
Right. Did you feel that pressure? Like, did you? And I know you're not a guy that normally feels. You seem very cool, calm, and collected. But did you feel the energy of that game?
Yeah, game recognized game. You know what's going on when you playing.
Right.
Like, game recognized game, but like you said, like, it don't really bother me now because I'm a baller. Like, I'm gonna be comfortable regardless. But like, I'm gonna know, like, you know the difference. Like, I know the difference between when I'm playing against somebody who really like that and then somebody like
who's not.
who know how to play. Like, you got people who know how to play, and then you got people who really know how to play. Like, and you know the difference.
And I ask all that to really ask, how are you? And again, I understand that you're a very calm dude, a guy that's not really too, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't really get you frazzled, but how are you preparing yourself for the atmosphere that the game on Sunday is going to bring? Because it is a very different atmosphere, because you're kind of walking into a rivalry that really has nothing to do with you outside of the fact that you're wearing a U uniform. You know what I'm saying? These guys are going to come with an energy that, you know, maybe after the first hit, you're going to be like, damn, what I do to these motherfuckers? Like,
I ain't never going to be that. Like, listen, I know what's going on. I'm well aware. I'm well aware of what took place. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, see, the only thing, I was fortunate enough to, like, prior to coming here, like, I played for the Gators, and you know the Gators ain't no slouch either.
Right.
Like, you understand what I'm saying? So that atmosphere that the U got is the same kind of atmosphere that the Gators had. Like, it may not be
with
the
BIC
same exact
specifically,
thing. Yeah, right, it may not be the same exact thing, but you get what I'm saying? Like, when you come here, like, they know what we come with, and you get what I'm saying? So them games intense in itself. So this ain't nothing new to me. Like, and plus, like, I've been doing this my whole life, man. I play football, man. Like, I ain't really bothered by, like, the atmosphere. The atmosphere ain't never gonna bother me. Like,
so how do you feel about? How do you, and this will be the last thing, and I think Matt was reading my mind, but how do you feel Sunday's going to go for you guys?
Y'all know how it's going to go, man. Y'all asking crazy questions, man. Like, what you think I would say we going to lose?
I don't know. I asked it in a vague enough way that you could have said we're going to have
that
fun.
Ain't vague, man. There's no vague way to ask a person if they going to lose.
Hey, bro, you feel like you're going to get your butt
one way. It can either go one or two ways. We either going to win or we going to lose. I don't take no L's, man. I don't do well with L's.
Well, we'll be watching, even though I'll be preparing for a letter. I don't know.
Man, I'm gonna go recruit for you, man. That's what you need. I'm gonna go ahead and recruit.
I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate it. Look, if you got anybody, if you know anybody, literally in the entire country, you know, they could make it to Boston just as easily as our Boston guys make it to Jersey. So, I appreciate you, Carlos. We're gonna be calling you Opie, but listen, you win Sunday.
Man, call me Pablo.
Pablo?
Pablo. When y'all see the back of my jersey, you might say Pablo.
Listen.
Call me Pablo.
But you saw Buck in the Watchman jersey. It said Cam. We don't know that it was your jersey or not. I didn't know.
Oh, no, that's my jersey.
So
that's
Pablo's
my jersey,
Pablo. Listen,
Pablo.
So we know Pablo's Pablo. Cam is Buck is not Cam, but Pablo is Pablo.
Buck, I don't got nothing to do with that over there. That's the Watchman. I'm telling you, when y'all see me play, my name is on the back of that jersey and say Pablo.
And if things go the way that you were planning Sunday, let me just remind you that the guy last year that we don't want to talk about, what was his record? So you want to change the conversation? Sunday could be the start of that conversation changing for, you know, as long as Rob is going to be mad at me for starting it. So Carlos, thanks for coming on. You know, we really appreciate your game. The reason we brought you on here is because we're watching, man. And I don't know if you watched our highlights.
We got that rivalry this weekend. Y'all boys want
Well, man, me and Rob were singing a 2000s one-hit wonder rap song over your both of your touchdown passes the other day. So keep them coming, and hey, you never know, man. You never know.
All right, man. Appreciate y'all.
You never know. Thanks for being on. That's Carlos Croslin, aka Pablo. He is the quarterback of the Patterson U, and he'll be in action in our 1:00 game against the Trenton BIC. And we've got another guest coming in on the podcast right now. He is also in a very important rivalry game this Sunday as he and the Insomniacs take on his former team, the Vegas Force. It is RTC Wilkerson joining us on the pod. RTC, long time since you joined us here. How the fuck are you?
I am doing great. You know, just ready to play on Sunday.
Got your chow mein?
Nah, no chow mein tonight. Actually had Chipotle. Chipotle was the choice.
Bro, I just
we
hope.
gotta stop
Vegas,
talking about these brands that don't pay us any money.
Right, they don't pay us $1. I hope Vegas realize they're letting a guy who literally eats whatever he wants before he plays y'all destroy y'all. It couldn't be me, bro.
And listen, you're 26, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the metabolism at 26 means that Polynesian sauce is perfect conduit to get that Chick-fil-A in and out the system. No big deal. But listen, we brought you on because not only are you guys involved in probably the most important game in the Vegas division this weekend, in my opinion, but it's also like a personal battle, right? We were just talking to Carlos Croslin, who's the quarterback of the U, playing BIC. We're talking to the running back of what we call the Vegas All-Star Insomniac team, taking on a team that, by me saying that you weren't going to be a part of the Force, I am a bad journalist, RTC. And Coach Mack and his guys over there. Now, I saw on, Facebook after the tight loss, and even though I've talked to people out there and said that there was, some questionable situations involving yellow and white and black and everything, and 3 touchdowns that were called back and all that kind of stuff. But the Force had the right attitude after the loss, at least from the perspective of their coach, in that, they're not going to create excuses. They got to go back to the drawing board and make sure everything's good to go. What are the Insomniacs doing? And more specifically, can Scooter swing from webs in between the Vegas skyline after that spider bite?
Listen, Scooter is an amazing man. No matter what, he's going to put that ball on the string, and that's it.
So no confirmed powers yet, because I've seen the spider bite, and if no powers,
you're going to have to wait till Sunday for that.
Okay. All right. So you're not going to give, even though we have a history here of you leaking information here, you're not going to give us any ideas.
I can't give you anything this time.
Quick question though, how does it feel to be the Kings of Vegas?
It feels good. It feels good, but at this point of like time, like right now, I'm so confident in my team's play style that last week I didn't even have to play running back. I played fullback and just blocked the whole time, and the running back still had 100+ yards. So
let's not even dance around it. Do you think this? Let's say playoffs started today. Do you feel confident in taking this Insomniacs team all the way to the championship?
I feel very confident. I got linemen that can get a push, move their feet. More, they don't have to rely on me to keep running, even though it's not working. I know we all saw that. I got a quarterback that can complete passes.
It's interesting.
So
I don't know if that's shade or I can't tell.
I can.
Well, you saw the light go out in his car just then.
Unless you're watching us, unless you're listening to us wherever podcasts are sold. But I will say this though, Rob is gassing you into that Vegas trap, man. It happened to the Force last week. It happened to the Kryptonite in the championship. It happened to the Hunters right before the fall was over. It happened to the Pit Bosses after they thought they were the shit. And look at where they've fallen after all those weeks. You sound overconfident. Now, I'm confident in you guys, but the one thing I will say is that as much as offensive prowess as you guys have shown, there is that propensity against Sickwit that, Sickwit had only scored 21 against the Force. Right. They scored quite a bit more against you guys. Is your defensive output more based on the effort level that you guys are willing to put into it? Because let's be honest, RTC, the overconfidence can show when you guys are basically showboating out there. And like I told Rob last week, it looks like you guys are an all-star team. And the one thing that you would say about an all-star team is there's no defense. And not that there's no defense. Let's be honest. You guys won your games. But is that going to be a level of emphasis in your game this week, is to make sure that not only do you win, but you look dominant?
Absolutely. I'm trying to donut these guys as much as possible because donuts.
Wait, let's be clear. Who are you playing this Sunday?
I'm playing I forgot, because, I don't care.
I forgot. He was going to say it, and then it was like, it's a better troll if I forgot. Well, to remind you, it's Dem Forces. And I think this week they're going to be coming with that black.
But you got to remember, Corey. Hold on. Let me turn my light back on.
Every time I cut to him on camera,
let me.
The fucking dome light goes off.
Shout out to the zone that's not ready for all of our antics yet.
Yeah, let me turn the light on for this one. Them Forces, right here. Remember that.
Hear me out. Listen, I wasn't a fan at first. I had a lot of RTC's okay. He's not that good. Then, because I wasn't familiar with your game. Once I got familiar with your game, I'm like, me and Matt kind of said it, 2 weeks ago? There's a thing in A7 about being jersey good. And you, my friend, are jersey good, where you can go on a New Jersey team and be a threat anywhere. You could be a threat to Florida.
You know what Ohio, I was going to do?
Vegas, it doesn't matter. So I did feel, because I'm not a huge fan of Rock Briscoe. I think Pac-Man Jones is that guy, but again, without a very accurate quarterback that can get it to him, he's kind of crippled. And once I was familiar with your game, I realized you were more of that team. How do you think they're going to play you this Sunday, being that this is the first time they're seeing you in another uniform?
I hope that they run commit, because if they don't run commit, listen, I told the running backs last week, they can have all the shine in this Pit Bosses game, because when it comes time for this game, I don't think I'm coming out. I don't think I'm coming out on this one.
You're gonna be in for the full 60.
Full 60.
And now can we get to the root of that? Because this conversation we're having now is a little, if not drastically different than the one we were having back when we became enamored with your ability to eat chicken nuggets and Polynesian sauce and then run on the field and throw up triple digits like it's nothing and take teams that we thought were your other team to the championship. And then also beating Cory's ass at the same time in the game earlier that day. We love you,
I didn't beat Cory. I beat Endeavor. I beat Endeavor.
You beat, sorry, you did beat
don't,
Endeavor.
Don't do that to Cory. Endeavor was the person.
Look, I got to keep him humble somehow. Everybody talking about us on the Instagram about us getting jobs with the NFL. Like,
listen, they ain't hired my ass. I talk way too much.
I think I got fired before I got hired. They don't want my ass.
Jim Nantz would pimp slap me. He'd be like, "Do not step over my call. It's 1st and 10."
Would he do it? Would he do it with the Masters theme just playing softly in the background? That music gives me PTSD. I swear to God. For completely different reasons.
But he's a silent slapper too. So he would just be like, "Hello, friends," and it would just be like, "Boom!" I'd be like, "Oh, I didn't even hear it." It's like that
bitch slap.
Shrimp.
But the root of this problem
for Jim Nantz's bitch slap is brought to you by Vineyard Vines.
The root of this problem came from, I asked the Coach Mack, if I can play with Kryptonite in the offseason since, they weren't playing in the fall.
Right.
I will tell you, Coach
He says, sure. So we get to the championship game, all the way to the championship game. And,
Coach Mack calling.
I finally decided to look at the Forces group chat. Forces group chat was like, we don't need him. He sucks. If he's not with us, then he's not with us. I said, okay.
Same energy for Pac-Man? I don't know. Did the same thing. Now it was probably my fault.
He didn't get the same energy.
No, I don't think so.
He didn't get the same energy, so I felt like they didn't need me. So I said, fuck it. I don't need y'all then. I'll go find another team. But you got to remember, I'm like 70% of the offense.
Just about.
Well, for the Force, right?
Yeah, for the Force.
Right. And
7%.
Then now you're in an offense that has like a legit like three-headed monster. You have the wide receiver that may be the best in Vegas. You have two of the best quarterbacks, and we can argue, where they rank. And, Rob was saying your Jersey certified running back. I would agree. I was just, screwing around. Like I was watching film, cause I'm trying to prepare myself to play Baltimore. They're ready to, they literally have wanted posters out throughout the West side and the East side. So I'm going to somehow find out where Central is. But anyway, and I was thinking, Courage Mosey is fucking tough ass name is Courage. And I was like, man, we said RTC is the Aldi's Courage. Let's give him another ridiculous ass like adjective nickname. And I was like, what about Bravado Wilkerson? And here you come storming onto the 3-on-1 podcast with nothing but bravado. Win that fucking game Sunday, man. Let's go. RTC is cool, but Bus has been done with running backs. The new Courage is now Bravado Wilkerson.
I came up with something just now that I'm not happy that I thought of, and I have to say it out loud, and I'm sorry for beforehand.
Sure.
As the person who created Thick Boy Season, I thought, bravado, that means he's got big balls. That means he's Big Balls Wilkerson. He's BBW. And I was like, oh, no.
Oh, no. I mean, honestly, for you to be so excited about Thick Boy Season, for you to say BBW, I mean, you're just being inclusive at this point. I mean,
Big Balls Wilkerson is
I don't know if my wife is getting real excited if we're gonna have a 3-on-1 shirt that has BBW on it. But hey, Bravado Wilkerson, maybe get your own brand of clothing and just fuck around and just wear BBW.
Listen,
I don't know.
Big Bravado Wilkerson.
Let's do a poll. How about that? I don't even know if we can do a poll on a podcast. But since we robbed shit from
drop it in the comments if you're watching on DAZN, and I'm really sorry.
Yo, that's insane.
No, we're not. You're welcome. No, we're sorry.
Big Balls Wilkerson is insane, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
What
Listen,
is
I
Anthony
think
I
I found the
got a
episode
guy-
title, but I
government?
can't use it.
I got a guy who will put that on a shirt. Shout out to Chris Mouth McWilliams. He's gonna put that on the shirt for me, and I'm gonna have it Sunday.
Another one of you motherfucking dream team bastards fucking give me a high ankle sprain and making all that weight loss fucking pointless for your boy. Anyway, I'm still
Should
bitter
have kept
about
the
that
weight.
shit.
You should have just kept the weight, man.
Nah, man. There's other
Uncle would have
reasons why.
survived the hit.
Yo, my never mind. I was gonna say something my fucking son said to me, but he's so disrespectful. I'll never live it down. He goes like this to me. I will say it. He's like, Dad, gotta have a six-pack, bro. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I paid for your gym membership. I'm gonna fucking cancel it. He's taller than me too. So in the
Oh.
poll, yeah, now listen.
Is he faster?
What? He ran in 8th grade, he ran a 99-yard quarterback sneak. First game of the season.
Yeah, Corey, we ain't never seen you do that one.
No one has. And
I've seen him juke somebody
I'm
though.
broken.
I've seen him juke
I'm
somebody.
broken.
But juking, no disrespect, but juking Bobby Newman, is that a thing? I don't
Nah,
know.
Bobby Newman jumps over people. Yes, that's a thing.
Bobby
you have to-
Newman does, not 34-year-old Bobby Newman. See, he was
Yeah.
shaving his head, so you didn't see the grays. But we're doing a poll, and somehow figure it out, comment section somewhere. What is RTC Anthony Wilkerson's real name? Anthony Wilkerson, RTC, Bravado Wilkerson, or BBW?
I really like Bravado Wilkerson,
Yeah, I
especially
like
because of how he
bravado
came in.
too.
He
Listen,
came in here kinda
win,
crazy.
win, I don't know. We'll see. But how do you guys feel about this top 10? Because I know that you
Ooh.
literally, and there's a receipts episode coming eventually, but on your episode where we had you and Tone on, you actually said after just trashing Trey, but you were like, what are you saying? You telling me a team with me and Trey on it couldn't do some
He
damage
did
out
say
east?
that. He
So-
did say, when we named the All-Star team, he did say that.
Now Matt's gonna do the receipts noise. All week one we were getting it, and even though the segment wasn't coming on. But how do you now feel that you got
Hurt my
Trey in the
feelings.
huddle? No, look, it wasn't your fault. It was the
I
jam,
know,
and
I
it was the rest. It was listen, you know who it was, Matt? It was the guy who runs all the social media.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
that fat asshole.
No, no, don't disrespect my guy that runs the
That's
social
deep.
media. He's not
That's
fat.
deep.
So
Heard he punches babies.
you know him pretty well. You must have heard something I didn't. As this show goes totally off the rails, and good thing we're talking to an off-road bus vehicle. RTC, now that you spoke all of that into fruition, the leaving the force, the new team, you're going to play with your friends, and you weren't even sure it was the Kryptonite, and it wasn't, and it's beautiful because I was both wrong and right at the same time, and
Right.
everyone wins at that point. How do you guys feel with the roster that you put together? If it does relate to the end goal, which is you're going to have to beat either a team from Florida or a team from the Northeast to get the overall goal, which is the league championship. Now that you've spoken into fruition, how do you feel about that? And are you guys on track, do you think?
I feel like we are on track because I don't want nothing but the number one spot. I don't care how we get it, how we do it. If I got to sit and let somebody else play just to get that number one spot to put Vegas on the map, I want the number one spot.
Based on what you've seen from BIC this year, do you think the Insomniacs can do it if it's BIC?
Yeah, because the Force let go of the same person that guarded Ashante Worthy all game. And you got to remember, he had like 1 or 2 touchdowns.
Well,
Probably.
other than the most disrespectful stiff arm to the face that I've ever seen a wide receiver put on a corner. Dillard Davis you're talking about, right?
No, I'm talking about Gianni Breland.
Oh, Gianni Breland, excuse me.
Wow.
Yeah, I mixed both of them. But Gianni Breland's the one who took the stiff arm to the face and sent him into his soul forever into the field at Asbury Park. He got cut from the Force and is now in the Insomniacs as well.
Yes.
Are the Force okay?
And
I don't think so.
And Tone Smith has also got a revenge game about to come up too here, huh?
Yeah.
So what do you think the spread is for your game Sunday? Conservatively.
We win by 21.
Jesus Christ, that's conservative.
We win by 21.
How many points do they score on offense?
We're gonna try to put up 46.
So you think that they can score a decent amount because you guys are just going to be playing like, you know, in the third and fourth quarter, you're going to be playing NBA All-Star defense?
Now that all of our guys are back, you know, from suspension, quote unquote, you know,
yeah,
I don't think Rock has enough time to get the ball. It's just going to be like how it was when we went to New Jersey.
Where do you rate Rock Briscoe in the quarterbacks that you've played with in the past 2 seasons of A7FL football, including the fall?
He got beat. He's under Munchie now because Munchie definitely spun the ball the other day. He's definitely fourth because that's the fourth QB I got on the list. So it goes
he's last. So he's last.
Yeah.
No,
last.
But that means that you. So in the past couple of seasons, you played with Rock Briscoe.
Mm-hmm. I played with
Darnell Richardson.
Yes.
Scooter Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
Trey Robinson. And Munchie now.
And he's still
so Rock is fifth.
What is it about his game? Now, we just mentioned a lot of good quarterbacks. And I'd say based on statistics and record, Rock's better than me. He's still my favorite quarterback. He's older than me. He doesn't look as old as me this year, but anyway.
Rock just does not have the athleticism than the rest of those guys.
Yeah. Which is
Trey, that's a walking 6 points. Darnell, that's a walking 6 points. Scooter, he's slinging it. That's another 6 points. Munchie, multi-talented. He can play wherever and succeed. So it's just, he got to be at the bottom because Rock is set in his own mindset. If it's not, you know, it's what he calls at the end of the day. And what he calls, you saw what happened in New Jersey. It doesn't work.
Knowing what you know, playing with who you playing with, and having who you have on your team, you're going, let's say everything goes the way you want it to go. You beat everybody you want to beat, and you find yourself in Las Vegas. Please correct me on the stadium if I'm wrong. Bullhead?
Anderson
Automotive Arena.
That's Arizona.
That's Arizona, so it's not Las Vegas. Somebody lied to me.
No, it's in
you find
Bullhead,
yourself
so
there,
it's both, yeah.
And you're playing BIC, hypothetically, for the championship, the national championship. Who's your quarterback?
Scooter.
Even with everything you know, you'll still keep Scooter back there.
I'm picking Scooter. You know how hard it is to get Scooter down?
For Vegas.
I don't care.
I'd like to see what happens.
I don't care if you're Ferrari. You're gonna have to do some type of rapping.
And I'm a fan of Scooter now. I don't want y'all to get it twisted. I'm a big fan of Scooter.
Mook chase down. What wide receiver did he chase down?
That's what I'm saying.
We also got that fucking sack fumble on 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's guys like Big Mook and K-Wack who are pretty big guys. I think you know that.
But they still have to get past our O-line. Nightmare, Ice, and John Price or Gabe or Wes, they're like brick walls that actually move their feet. You see, and our game on the forces, our first step when we're running the ball is backwards.
Word.
Why?
Word.
So I kind of want to dig a little bit. Sorry, finish your point.
No, you go ahead.
When it comes to the move to the Insomniacs, the free agency period in Vegas from when the fall brawl ended to the week that the A7FL started at the end of March, felt more frantic and frenetic than any other time, with the exception of Baltimore joining the U and then becoming the Watchmen and all that other cosmic A. What was the process like for you once you saw the group chat wasn't really feeling it, to where you could have went back to the Kryptonite? What drew you to the Insomniacs? What's drawn all these great players to come together in this big, big three Miami Heat level of move?
It was those damn group chats.
No, so
it was
so what
late in
happened-
Vegas. I was like, what are you doing?
So I got 2 older brothers, right? So they finally decided they want to play football. So I'm like, okay, come to the Kryptonite. So my older brother Thomas, he was like, no, I want to go to a team that has never won a game. Absolute is just trash, so everybody can be surprised. So I was like, no, we can stay with Kryptonite. So, Scooter hits me. He was like, hey, come to Insomniacs. We got a nice squad. You got a line that actually blocks for you downfield. So, long story short, my other brother Kendrick, he goes to the Insomniac. So I'm going where my older brothers go.
Right.
So I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna play with family. Even though I said I'm gonna play with friends, family always comes first.
Right.
And that was the big thing with the Force, because they said we were family, and then I go back to the group chat, and then you guys are talking bad. I can't get with that.
Understood.
That's completely understable.
He's
And
going
just-
on a Cory Hammond jersey tour, man. He's trying to catch up to me. He's already got
Listen.
3. He's got 3 in 2 years.
Except,
I get
yeah.
cut. Don't
He,
even
no,
start.
not even get cut. Except he won the Vegas championship. He won the fall championship, right or wrong? Did you
No,
win
he
the-
won the
Oh.
spring
He lost-
championship in
he
Vegas. They
won the
lost the
spring,
fall
lost
championship.
fall, and now he's on a team that might be the Vegas champs.
Now,
Yeah.
this will be my parting shot to Bravado over here, because let's be honest. I think it's public that I'm likely, especially my character is leaning towards your side. But like I said, and I always warn people from Vegas because it's become a trend. Now I know that you have zero doubt in your mind, but we have to play the other side to it. If the Force used that loss to get back on the right page, and they're using all this motivation, and somehow they pull out something for 1 week, what will we have to call you then? Will for 1 week, will we have to call you Anthony, the Force Wilkerson, or White Air Force Energy Wilkerson? Like there has to be some type of penalty to make the stakes high here, because as much disrespect we throw the Force, I think a win against you guys puts their season right back on track, and it makes the Vegas division now this wide open Wild West thing that could be even more exciting. Now, do I feel like I see that happening? I don't know. I'm pretty sure that the last time you came on this podcast, as confident as you were, the team that you played that weekend, you beat by more than the 21 you just promised us. And the Pit Bosses were just as confident as any team could ever be. This is a Force team coming off a loss. So with as much bravado as you have, what is the penalty for you?
If the Force beat us on Sunday, I will get a shirt made. On the back is going to say, "The Force owned me."
So there you go, Coach Mack. I'm not the worst journalist ever because I tried to balance it out. But at the end of the day, Bravado Wilkerson earned that nickname with 200 plus total yards. Yo, could you take a 3-on-1 back? Or is that asking too much?
Oh, asking way too much. We leave that for the skinnier guys. Come on now.
Fair.
Skinnier
Fair.
guys. Did you see
And
Ike
speaking
won
of-
this week? Ike won this weekend? Skinnier guy.
There you go. And speaking of tinyurl.com/A7FL
Son of a bitch.
merch, tinyurl, let's do that. tinyurl.com/A7 merch. And if you didn't understand me, it's tinyurl.com/A7FL merch, because look, RTC, You know that you're getting that Thick Boy season shirt eventually. Rob's a Huss guy. Secretly, Matt Ryan just loves the 3-on-1 podcast shirt with the three of us.
I do too.
And
yeah, it's my friends.
I actually own the prints to all three of them. Even though I buy my own shirt for other people. But anyway, RTC, thanks for coming on. And with a win, I think we'll have a courage and a bravado in the league. And that makes me, for someone that, was decent on the SAT with vocab, I think I killed the show. Now. I'll be quiet. I had to look up bravado to make sure it worked. I'm sorry.
All right, guys.
RTC, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Excited to see. I'm excited that we get to call one of your games, because one thing I've been looking for are those games on the schedule. And
is that the 7 o'clock game?
That's the 7 o'clock game. Yeah.
If I'm not dead, man, I'll be watching it.
All right.
They're going to be saying, watch this. I'm going to be trying to watch it. I don't know if I'll watch it. The watch this hashtag might mean something different by that time.
You can watch the games live this Sunday on A7FL.tv and across the world outside of the United States on DAZN. Action starts at 1 p.m. Eastern. The BIC will be taking on the Patterson U at 4 o'clock in the East. It'll be the Silk City Animals taking on the Rahway Snow Tribe. And then our nightcap, our 7 o'clock game, before we hand the keys over to Fox 5.2. It's the Vegas Force taking on the Las Vegas Insomniacs, a battle of the defending Vegas champions, and a team that up until this point had not able to win a game, but they have come together like the Monstars or some sort of pro football Voltron and look to put 46 on the heads of the reigning Vegas champions. Don't miss a moment. Head on over to A7FL.tv. And as Cory said, you can go to tinyurl.com/A7FL merch. That's tinyurl.com/A7FL merch. Pick up some t-shirts. We get the money, please. We need the money. And also go to Skillshare. You can click the link in the description below to find out how you can get a free 30-day trial of Skillshare, and we'll get about $5. So please give us $5 by either buying our t-shirts. Yes, for free. You get something free, we get money. That's how it works. Capitalism is a
shout out to my Insomniac fan. Insomniac fan. Love y'all. We about to get this W. I'm out.
It sounded like you said Insomniac fan, like there was a singular person. Is it more than one?
Yo, Tim, you rule, bro.
Man, gotta go. Gotta go.
At RTC.
Gotta get inside. Gotta get inside.
Joining us here on the podcast, but we'll wrap this one up unless you guys have some final thoughts.
I'm just excited for the games this weekend, as usual.
Yeah. This might be the best week of the regular season until week 5. Because it's going to be a wild time and it's going to get better every week. Thank you to everyone who's been watching us on A7FL.tv and DAZN. Some of the most, at least in terms of international and domestic viewership, some of our highest numbers in quite a long time. People coming over to A7FL.tv, especially on social media, continue to support us. The only way we grow is by you helping out and telling people how awesome this is. I know there's other football going on, but if you're looking for the best spring football, it is here on the A7FL. Go to Skillshare, click the gimmick, buy the merch, and join us live from Asbury Park Stadium and Bonanza High School and across the A7FL landscape. We've got the battle for Cincinnati this week, guys. You know, the Sin City Chaos are going to be taking on the QC Crush. That one's going to be an awesome game, and we're excited to see what happens with that one. But for Big Rob Fabien, who'll be in the booth with me on Sunday, for Cory Hammond, my quarterback, who will be taking the long ride down I-95 and then back again this Sunday, I'm Matt Ryan, reminding you as always, don't be an asshole.
I'll try.